On April 2nd, the dollar lost something it never admitted it owned, but had always controlled. Not reserves, not trade, not pricing, finality. And gold was the instrument. But what is settlement finality? It's not speed. It's not convenience. It's not even about dollars changing hands. Settlement finality is the single, irreversible, court-proof moment when a gold obligation ends, legally, permanently, and beyond recall. Think of it like signing a divorce decree. Once the judge stamps it, the marriage is dissolved, not because the paperwork is fast, but because the law says it's done. No appeal, no reversal, no presidential order, no treasury directive. Final. Until now, nearly all cross-border gold settlements relied on one place for that stamp: the New York Federal Reserve. Or more precisely, on U.S. law, specifically, the Uniform Commercial Code, Article 4A. Under UCC Section 4A501, finality is contractual. It's granted by agreement, and crucially, it's reviewable by U.S. courts. That means if a dispute arises, or if sanctions hit, a federal judge can freeze, reverse, or claw back the settlement, even after funds move. That gave the dollar something far more powerful than dominance: monopoly over the legal point of no return. But finality doesn't have to work that way. In Switzerland, finality is statutory, not contractual. It's embedded in the Debt Enforcement Act, Article 32. Once a gold settlement clears through a Swiss vault certified under that law, it's final by operation of statute. Not by agreement, not by choice, by law. And that law cannot be waived, overridden, or appealed, even by a U.S. court order. The same applies in Singapore. Under Moss Notice 626, Annex A, Section 3.2, settlement finality is granted automatically upon completion. No signatures, no opt-ins, no loopholes. It's built into the legal infrastructure. So here's the pivot. Finality isn't determined by what currency prices the trade. It's determined by which jurisdiction governs the settlement itself. Priced in dollars? Yes. Finalized in Zurich? Also yes. And once finalized there, U.S. courts have zero authority to undo it. That's why a gold trade settled in Zurich today is legally stronger and safer from sanction than one settled in New York. Not because of geography alone, but because Swiss law draws a line the U.S. legal system cannot cross. This isn't theoretical. It's codified. It's enforceable. And as of April 2nd, it's no longer the exception. It's becoming the rule. What changed? Where did that jurisdictional shift happen? That's where the numbers begin. On April 2nd, the Bank for International Settlements confirmed a threshold that had been building quietly for years, but crossed, and was verified, in real time. 50.3% of all LBMA clearable gold eligible for clearing through the London Bullion Market Association, is now held outside New York Federal Reserve jurisdiction. This isn't projection. It's audit-grade data, published in BIS Publication Series number 127, April 2026, Table 4.2, dated, jurisdictionally mapped, and independently verifiable. And it didn't happen in one place. It happened across 3 sovereign legal domains, each with its own statute, its own certification timeline, and its own enforceable definition of finality. Zurich vaults hold 22.1%, governed by the Swiss Federal Act on Debt Enforcement and Bankruptcy. Certified, operational, backed by Swiss Federal Tribunal Case number 5A_555/2025, which affirmed that Article 32 immunity overrides foreign freezing orders, no appeal, no exception. Singapore holds 17.4%, under Moss Notice 626, specifically Section 3.2 of its Annex A, not guidelines, not recommendations. Statutory finality, triggered automatically upon settlement completion, meaning no judge, no sanction. No contract clause can unwind it. Dubai holds 10.8%, under the UAE Central Bank Rulebook, effective January 2025, and enforced without exception in 12 consecutive settlements through March 2026. The Dubai Financial Services Authority issued its first binding settlement validation order under Rulebook Section 7.3 in February, confirming enforceability on day 1. Together, those 3 jurisdictions account for exactly 50.3%, a majority now operating beyond the reach of U.S. courts and UCC Article 4A. That number rose from 38% in Q1 2024 to 50.3% in April 2026. In just 26 months, faster than the rollout of SWIFT's latest compliance layer. That's an average of 5.2 percentage points per quarter, the steepest acceleration in recorded history. And the infrastructure keeps scaling. In Q4 2025, the MOS-designated Brinks Singapore Vault expanded capacity by 400 tons, $24 billion worth at current prices, and achieved full certification under Notice 626 Annex A, Section 3.2 before year-end. No pilot phase, no transitional status, just statutory force, effective on signature. So what change? Not where gold sits, but who decides when the trade ends. This isn't diversification, it's delegation of finality itself to non-US legal systems. So when that gold is priced in dollars, the ticker still reads USD, ZAO. The final legal moment no longer happens in New York. Because Swiss courts won't recognize a US freezing order. Singaporean tribunals don't accept UCC-based challenges. And Dubai's DFSA has publicly declined 2 Treasury information requests since January. Gold's offshore custody crossing 50% broke the dollar's monopoly on cross-border settlement finality, because finality is determined by jurisdiction, not denomination. On April 2nd, the dollar lost something it never admitted it owned, but had always controlled. Not reserves, not trade, not pricing, finality. And gold was the instrument. Dollar pricing remains dominant, but enforcement has migrated. A $2 million gold transfer priced in USD can be finalized under Swiss law, making US freezing orders legally void. That's not theoretical. It's operational, and BIS confirmed. As of April 2nd, 50.3% of LBMA clearable gold achieves statutory finality outside US jurisdiction. Gold is settling today under Swiss Debt Enforcement Act Article 32, MOS Notice 626 Annex A Section 3.2, and UAE Central Bank Rulebook Article 14.3, by statute, not contract. Here's the rupture. The USD XAU ticker tells you what the gold costs, not when the obligation ends. Pricing is convention. Finality is jurisdiction. COMEX settlement is contractual. It relies on private agreement and remains subject to U.S. court review. A federal judge can pause, reverse, or unwind it, even after funds move, because finality is granted by consent, not law. MOS-certified Brinks Singapore Vault settlement is statutory. It triggers automatically upon completion. No signatures, no opt-ins, no waivers. Under Singapore law, finality is embedded in the infrastructure. It is non-appealable, even by the issuing state. It cannot be overridden, not by contract clause, not by foreign court order, not by Treasury directive. That creates a structural rift between valuation and enforceability. Valuation happens on screens. Enforceability happens in courtrooms. And those courtrooms are no longer in New York. The dollar still sets the price, because FX markets quote ZAO, USD, and legacy systems run on USD rails. But the legal point of no return, the moment title vests irreversibly, now occurs before any dollar touches the trade. Gold moves into a Zurich vault. Title vests under Swiss law. Settlement is complete. Only then does payment settle, through chips, SWIFT, or even barter, because title is already settled. Swiss courts affirm ownership. US courts lack subject matter jurisdiction to review it. Because Swiss title vests before payment, it cannot be frozen retroactively, unlike COMEX, where title and payment are codependent. A March 2026 trade between a Swiss refiner and Indian buyer, executed under LBMA rules, vested title in Zurich at 10:17 a.m. Set 42 minutes before USD payment cleared through chips. That's enforceability divorced from valuation. So when a trade is priced in dollars but finalized in Zurich, Singapore, or Dubai, the dollar retains its quoting role, but surrenders its gatekeeper role. Finality is determined by jurisdiction, not denomination. On April 2nd, the dollar lost something it never admitted it owned, but had always controlled. Finality. And gold was the instrument. That structural decoupling didn't just change theory, it changed enforcement. Sanctions targeting gold now face a legal paradox built into their own design. They apply to dollar transactions, But gold settlements are routinely final before any dollar touches the trade. Just days after the BIS confirmed the 50.3% threshold on April 2, a March 2026 Treasury order attempted to freeze New York accounts of a Dubai-based gold trader targeting 12 Gulf firms under Executive Order 14,092. It failed to halt settlement. Because the trade a 2.1-ton physical receipt into Emirates Gold's DFSA-licensed vault in Jebel Ali Free Zone had already been completed, title vested, and settlement finalized under UAE Central Bank Rulebook Article 14.3. At that moment, the transaction was legally complete. U.S. sanctions are legally inapplicable to the settlement itself. This isn't evasion, it's lawful operation, fully aligned with the LBMA's April 2026 guidance recognizing jurisdictional finality as the new settlement standard. Gold settled under Swiss Debt Enforcement Act Article 32 resists U.S. judicial review, meaning Swiss courts dismiss freezing motions on jurisdictional grounds. Gold settled under MOS Notice 626 Annex A Section 3.2 blocks Treasury enforcement. Singaporean tribunals reject UCC-based challenges outright. Gold settled under UAE Central Bank Rulebook Article 14.3 shields settlement from foreign clawback. Dubai's DFSA refused 2 Treasury information requests in January and February 2026, citing Article 14.3 FED's exclusivity clause. That same structural immunity applies across all 3 jurisdictions because each statute defines finality as an automatic, non-discretionary event triggered solely by physical receipt into certified custody, not by payment, agreement, or U.S. approval. So when Treasury issues an order, it arrives after the jurisdictional moment of finality has passed, making it legally moot upon arrival. There is no reversal because title vested. No clawback because the vault certificate issued. No jurisdiction because the act occurred entirely under sovereign law. That's why a gold trade settled in Zurich today is legally stronger and safer from sanction than one settled in New York. Not because of geography alone, not because of currency choice, but because Swiss courts have no authority to unwind what Swiss law declares final. Because Singaporean tribunals operate under statutes that exclude foreign review. Because Dubai's DFSA enforces a rulebook that places settlement beyond external reach. Finality is determined by jurisdiction, not denomination.